quick walkthrough on setting the cam timing or timing on a B58 Gen 1. This is a 2017 340i, and yeah, give you a quick walkthrough. If you've had any questions, I couldn't seem to find any information on it, so I'm sharing the knowledge I found. Definitely gonna want to get a cam timing or a timing toolkit for a B58. This is about $100 on Amazon, and it's extremely convenient because it does come with a spark plug socket, the head bolt socket, the tool to rotate the crankshaft because it doesn't have a center mounted bolt. It's the 4 ones that are all outside. Definitely don't want to rotate it by those little E10s or whatever they are. But after you have this timing toolkit, you can set the lower crankshaft in the back. If you do have this rear cover off, this timing cover for that most forward, or the front chain, I believe it's front chain, yeah, the front chain, this goes onto the crankshaft, and this goes over to the driver's side of where the bell housing would be, and this goes into one of the dowel pins, and then these little bolts up here will bolt it in place so you can make sure the crankshaft is in place. It's not crazy relevant because it just runs over to an idler and then up to the 2 cam gears. But once you have that chain in place, set the tensioner, you put the timing cover on, and then you put this crank. This is, I'm sure, what a lot of questions are, because everything I found was in different languages. So this right here is going to be your crank lock. It goes in the starter location, bolts up, make sure it sits on there nice and flush up against this mating surface, and then this locking pin is going to go in to the factory automatic flex plate. There's a little hole right there next to one of the flex plate bolts, and that is going to slide right in there. Make sure that slides in nice and easy, no resistance, because it will not be 100%. So once that is in place, you know your crankshaft is perfectly in time. Then you want to make sure that these cam sprockets are loose. Loosen these bolts right here. Make sure that they are nice and loose, not too loose where they've fallen off, but snug, and then back it off a little bit. So then these can rotate without rotating the cams. For the cam direction, you want these camshafts facing upward. Upward would be where BMW A is facing up on the exhaust side. You can see a QR code, BMW A, on the exhaust. Make sure that this lobe is facing up towards the intake side, and maybe about a, I don't know, 30-degree offset from straight up. Then the intake side is BMW E with QR code. That is going to be facing up as well. The camshaft is almost straight 90 facing the exhaust side. And then you can also see a little eccentric shaft, or that little sprocket dowel right here. And that is also facing up. So these 2 cams are now in place. You can bolt on this cam lock. If these don't line up 100%, that's okay. You can rotate them. Once this somewhat slides on, you can see that it's not quite sitting flush. The goal is to make it sit on there nice and flush, and it should drop down. And then these bolts right here should slide right in. No resistance. Make sure that it's not off slightly to where you're bolting it in with resistance. Make sure that is dead even and that is sitting on there perfectly flush. Then once these 2 are bolted in place, go ahead and throw these on. If you need to rotate the cams at all, you can always throw a crescent wrench on there, just ever so slightly turn them to where they do line up. Once those are in place, before you tighten these down, this is the timing chain tensioner tool. Make sure this is threaded in all the way till it butts up, and this is the tensioner, or the fuller tensioner. Since we don't have oil pressure with it off, we are replicating oil pressure by turning this guy in. This is going to get rid of that slack in the chain. Right here we've got slack, and you're going to thread this guy in, basically just hand tight. until there's no more slack in that chain. So chain is nice and tight. Make sure it's tight all the way across. Sometimes it will be still loose over here, and you want to make sure that that slack is all pulled out and pushed up onto this side. So whenever you pull this guy out and you put your new tensioner in, that this is where all the slack is. It's on the tensioner side, not on this side. So get that guy nice and hand tight, and then you can tighten these sprockets down. This is going to be 30 Newton meters, followed by 50 Newton meters, followed by 24 degrees. So hopefully that helps you guys. I couldn't seem to find this information anywhere that was in English, so here you go in the English version. Good luck, you guys.